Good morning, my brothers and sisters from Cameroon. I hope that you, your family members, and all those you hold here are well. I am here today with another video, and before we get started, I would like to say that I hope that you have watched all the videos we have made before, because it is very important that you get acquainted with CTBN. Now, the video of today is going to be about reservation, most especially about suppliers and how they can handle or activate first reservations, then handle reservations that are made by customers. So in the previous videos, we saw how a customer could launch a search for their book list, okay, using the textbook group, and we saw how they can reserve, okay, and the various things they can do after reserving. They can share it, they can send a collector to go and collect their reservation. Now, today we are going to look at suppliers and how they can activate, then how they can manage the reservations. So I'm going to go to my browser as usual, and I'm going to go to ctbn.org. Once I'm on ctbn.org, I'm going to activate the sandbox. Okay. Once I've activated the sandbox, I'm going to go to a supplier. Now, in this video, I'm going to be in the Southwest region. So I'll say supplier Southwest. Okay. And then I'll choose 16 at ctbnsandbox.org, sorry, and then I'll place the default password, check, okay, and as usual, the login code is always going to be ctbnsba. So now I am on the dashboard of supplier of the Southwest 16 with an ID of S716. Okay, now before a supplier can handle reservations, because a supplier, when you create your account, by default, you are in research mode. So you have a supplier mode that is research, meaning that, or search, sorry, meaning that you are available for searching by customers. So a customer who launches a search will hit your account. Okay, he will hit your account. But if after the searching, sorry, they cannot place a reservation because you do not allow it. Now, it is very important that you realize that reservations are complex. It requires a lot of discipline and a lot of planning and a lot of organization. So you really need to have thought the whole process of reservations through before you decide whether or not you are going to do reservations. So if you think you are able to handle reservations as a supplier, and when I say handle reservation, I mean on site, because they will place reservations and then your team on site will be able to see the reservations that have been placed. You need maybe a set of people or a set of persons to handle reservations that are pending, a set of people to handle maybe people that come and get their reservations that were marked ready. You see the type of work you might have to do. So gathering the books for each reservations and then marking the reservations ready, and it's a lot of discipline, a lot of work. So if you think you're able to do that, then you can, after coming to your dashboard, you can come to my account and then you come on information. Okay, you will see your information, and below you will see an update information link. So when you click on the link, it will provide you with an update form with your information that are pre-filled. Okay, and then you can change everything from your business area image to everything really. Now, this supplier in particular is already in reservation mode. Okay, he's already in reservation mode. But if you were in search mode, say like this, and you wanted to change, you would have to choose reservation. Choosing reservation for the supplier mode will enable you to accept reservation from customers, meaning that when a customer launches a search for their textbook group, they will see the reserve link on the search result, meaning that they can reserve. Okay. Now, everything you do is password protected. So at the end, after you have updated any information here, you have to enter your password. Okay, you still have to enter your password before you update. It's important because, as I've been saying in the previous videos, if you are working on your machine and then something happens and you have to quickly leave without closing your machine, without logging out, without doing the required stuff, somebody could come into your account and just wreak havoc. Okay, so you will have to enter your password before you update. So in my case, the supplier mode is already reservation, so I'm good to go. So now what you need to do is that you need to come to the reservations pane and choose your section, because the reservations for the English section are obviously different from the reservations from the French section. Now, this supplier has only or serves only the English section, so we are going to click this. Now you see that there are some reservations already that were created. Okay, some reservations were created, and they are 10 in number, from 10 to 19. They are 10, and they are all pending. Okay, and they were all created less than 1 day ago. Okay, so now what you realize is that there are three important links here for the supplier. You have details, which opens a page that you can view pretty much like that was found in the customer reservations page. Okay, you have details about the reservation, when it was created, the status, the customer information, the supplier information, and the items that are provided. Okay, so these are the items that are provided. You have the total cost, and you have the reservation fee as 1,000, and then the total, which is the item cost plus the reservation fee. So that's how it is for the details. So it's nothing new. If you saw the previous video, then you know that it's just the same as that of the customer. Now, there are two other columns. You have the rated column and the paid column. So you realize that all the reservations are pending. Okay. What would generally happen here is that you, as the supplier, you will, for example, start the day and you put on your machine or your Android device or your iPhone or any mobile device you have. You will connect to your platform or to your account, and then you will come on reservations. If you handle reservations, right, you will come on reservations and you will see these reservations. Okay, and then they are all pending. So you will generally, this is how you will do. You will come to details. Sorry, you will come to details. Okay, and in details you are going to view the textbooks that this particular customer needs. Okay, you are going to view them and you are going to collect them. Okay, textbook 1, okay, textbook 2, okay, textbook 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. Okay, everything is there. You look at everything is there and you're like, okay, good to go. You know exactly what it will cost. Okay, and then you say, you as a supplier, you say, okay, I'm good to go. So you close this and then you come and click on the ready link. When you click on this ready link, it means that you have collected all the textbooks, like you have grouped all the textbooks for this particular reservation, and they are all ready, meaning that the customer can come and collect. Okay, the customer can come and collect the textbooks. So once that is done, you just need to come and click ready here. So when you click this ready link, it marks the status. The status of the reservation will change from pending to ready. Okay, you change from pending to ready, and the customer and any collector they have will receive an email stating that, okay, your reservation with ID 10, for example, like in this case the ID is 10, has been marked as ready. So you are able to go and collect it as from now. Okay, so it's just it. And most of the times, okay, somebody, because you know that when you treat a reservation, okay, when the customer makes a reservation, they are pending by default. So pending means that you as a supplier you have not yet gathered the textbooks, okay, for each reservation. So that's pending. So when you have gathered them and they are ready, you will mark them as ready. So now the status changes to ready. And now the way a reservation that is pending is handled. It's not the same way a reservation that is ready is handled. A reservation that is pending, you are the ones who gather the textbooks and say it is ready. But once it is ready, the customer is the one to come and collect the book. So the activity, the process there is different. Here you gather the books and you tell them that it's ready. When it's ready, they come and collect the book. And obviously, when they have collected it well, you mark them as paid. So generally, what you do is somebody that whose role, for example, if you create a profile with the task of reservation, and you tell them you are handling reservations that are pending, right? They will connect to their dashboard and then they will filter here based on the status. Okay, they'll filter based on the status and they'll put pending, for example, and they will search. Okay, it will give them the 10 reservations that we have now. So far as this search filter is here, you will only ever see pending reservations. Okay, you will only ever see pending reservations. Now, to show you the power of this, let me wipe this out and get back the original stuff. Okay, now I'll mark this reservation as ready. So suppose I have all the 15 items here already gathered as a supplier. So I've gathered them already. I say, okay, let the customer come and collect. I mark it ready, right? So now I've marked it as ready. Okay, you realize that now the status has changed to ready, but the the reservation is still among the pending reservations. So if you are suppose you want to handle pending reservations only and you go till the end until you've completed them before you look at ready, then you can always come here and filter by status and you say pending, and this is when you are in English. Okay, well, this when the language is English. If the language is French, then you put pre or pret, depending on what, because pending, for example, pending means en attente, okay, in French. So if you are in French here, you will not write pending, you write en attente, okay, and then you filter by it, and so you see you only have those that are pending. So suppose I have gathered all these 14 items for this reservation 19 again, right? And then I say, okay, it is good. So let me mark them as ready. So what I do is I mark it ready, right? So immediately I mark it ready, it goes away. Okay, 19 is no longer there. Okay, 19 is no longer there. So I only deal, so far as this filter is here, I will only ever deal with pending. And so if a customer comes and say my reservation was marked as ready and I want to collect it, you say okay, you come to this same filter with status here and you put ready, okay, and then you search. Now it will give you the my reservations that were marked ready. And so if everything is good and the customer says, okay, you have given them the books, they have seen that, okay, all the books are there, they have paid you plus the reservation fee and everything is good. You now, for example, for this number 10 here, will mark it as paid. Okay. When you mark it as paid, it leaves the list too. Okay, it leaves the list. Now, if you come back to view, now when a reservation is marked as ready, okay, you will see it in the details. Okay, you see marked ready, or you see when it was marked ready. Okay, you see when it was marked. So immediately you create the reservation, you know when it was created. Immediately the supplier, you mark it as ready, you know that you this was marked ready on this day. Now the customer also knows, okay, and there is something very important. Once you have marked a reservation ready, there is no way you can make it go back to pending. Okay, there's just no way. You cannot make it go back to pending. So you should be very careful. You should mark a reservation ready only when you have gathered all the books and you're sure that the customer can come and collect. Because once you mark it ready, there's no going back behind. Okay, and the customer will know that you marked it ready on this day. Okay, at this time too. So it's the same thing for pay. Now we have marked a reservation as paid. Okay, so let me go and get paid reservations, right? We mark this one as paid, right? Now, if we view, we know exactly when it was marked paid. Okay, we know exactly when it was marked paid, and you can see the information of the customer, of supplier as usual. Okay, and you have a paid here, so it was paid. Okay, you know that there the reservation was paid. So on small screens, it looks something like this. I know we have never seen this on small screen. So it looks something like this on small screen. Okay, it looks something like this on small screen. So now you know it was paid. Okay, you know it was paid, and voila, the customer can see this too. Okay, once you have marked it paid, there's no way for it to go back to ready. Okay, so I will leave. So that's it. So if you want to see only those that were paid, you choose status here and you filter by paid. Okay, paid here. You filter by paid, and then you hit. It will show you only the reservations that are paid with the status of paid, and then you can move around to see what you want to see. Okay. Now, if you want to handle ready reservations, maybe customers are here to collect their reservations, you filter the status by ready. So you say ready, you put status and you search. So you have only those that are ready. And then once you give them the book, they have seen the books and say, okay, everything is good. They pay you plus the reservation fee. Then you can mark it as pay. And so even when it is ready, the customer will see ready on. So when it was ready, and they know it is ready, thanks to this again, this small banner here, and that's it. That's really it. That's really how you would manage. If you want to come back to pending, your pending reservation, just pending, and then you are there, and then you continue. Okay, after you've gathered this one, you mark it ready again, and then voila, you're good to go. This one is ready too. You mark it ready. It just as you are marking them ready, they are leaving. Okay, as you are marking them ready, they are leaving. And anytime you want to go back to ready, you just automatically go back to ready. And then once they are there, for example, they come and say, give what's your ID. The person gives your ID, and then you can come to the view and say, what's your name? They'll give you their name. You can see their name, their region, and everything. Okay, you can see everything, and then once everything is good, you say, okay, everything is good, and you you mark it as paid. Okay. Now, if it's already ready, for example, this is already ready, and you try to mark it as ready, you receive a notification that tells you that a reservation must be pending before you mark it as paid. Okay. Now, if you go to a paid reservation, for example, and you try to mark it as ready again, right? The same thing. Now, if you try to mark it as paid, the same thing. Okay, so that's it. That's really it for reservations, handling reservations as a supplier. That's mostly what you will do. When the reservation comes, they are mostly pending, so you will filter by pending, right? You will be working one by one, one by one, one by one, until you are finished. Now, when you're finished and there is nothing else, you can go to ready, right? For those that are ready, right? That are ready, you just wait. When they come, you filter by ready. Yeah. So, for example, when customers comes, you filter by ready, and okay, what's your ID? They give you the ID. So, for example, say I have a customer in front of me, and the customer says they have come to collect their ready reservation. Sorry, reservation was ready. I'll ask them, okay, what is your customer ID, for example, which is this seat here, customer ID, right? They tell me say 701. I'll say 701, okay, and then I'll come here and I'll switch to customer ID, okay, and then I search, and then it will give me their information here, okay, and then I can view the textbook, and then I give them, and then they view it and everything. Once it's good, I just mark it as paid. Once I mark it as paid, voila, now it is paid. So I can always now go back to my ready reservations, right? And make sure you change it to status here, and you hit search, and then you continue handling the next customer just like that, just like that, just like that. So that's it for suppliers, the supplier's guide on how to handle reservations. But before we leave, we should come to statistics. I told you there was a small statistics page. It's going to be made better in the future, okay? But for now, how many paid reservations do we have? We have three paid reservations, okay? Three of them were paid. So in statistics, you will see exactly the number of reservations that were paid, okay? the amount that you paid without the fee. So how much did you get for the textbooks of these three reservations? And then you have the received reservation fee. Okay, since there were three, and we know that the reservation fee is 1,000, this is 3,000 francs. Okay, and you can filter by year. Okay, so it's a small statistics page. It's going to be ameliorated in the future. Okay, so that's it for suppliers, really. That's it for suppliers. So if you want to have handle reservations, you want to be able to allow customers to make reservations, you come to your information, you come to update information, and you come to the supplier mode down here, and you choose reservation. Then you have to enter your password again because it's important, security. Then you update. Once you have updated, customers will be able to make reservations, and you will handle your reservations under the reservations pane. Okay, whether you're the English section, French section, or mixed, both, right? So here you always meet a page like this one that will show you all your reservations, right? Whether they are paid, pending, or ready. Okay. So now, since you mostly want to gather the textbooks and tell the customer that they can come and collect, so you obviously put pending here, and you will choose status. So you want those that have been created first without they have not been handled yet. You search. Okay. And then now you can view now the details. Okay, and come to the textbook and collect the textbook, pick, collect, pick. And then once everything is good, you can just close this and you just mark the reservation as ready. Once you mark it as ready, it leaves the list because you are currently on pending, so you will not see it here again. So you do that. That's what you'll be doing most of the times, and the clients will just be, or the customers will just be receiving emails that their reservations are ready. So when they come in front of you now, you come to ready. So you type ready in the filter form and you choose search for the query type, and then you search. Okay, and then they will most likely give you their ID. So my ID is this. For example, if you have many reservations here, for example, you have many, say you have 25, 50. Obviously, it is paginated 25 per page or 50 per page. So if there are many, you can always, as you are here, you can ask them for their ID, right? You come and you choose customer ID. Now, if the customer is not the person collecting the book is not the customer, obviously, if it's a collector, because we saw that customers can create collectors, you choose instead collector, customer collector ID here, okay? And then you put the collector's ID, which is this column. Okay, here you see not assigned, not assigned. So when they created this reservation, they did not assign a customer collector. This is how maybe you can identify people that are trying to get or steal some other person's textbooks. Okay, they'll come and tell you they were somebody's collector, and you ask them for the ID, but there's no ID on the CCID column. So you know obviously that they are not customer collectors for that user. So here, for example, if it's 708, I'm going to put 708 for the customer ID, and then I'm going to search. Then I'll see a ready. Yeah, I'll say okay, and then from there I'll just that as a supplier I will go and collect your package, right? Because obviously when it is pending and then I've gathered the books, I would like to put something on top of the books to say that okay, this is for customer ID 708, so that when the 708 comes, I'll say okay, and then I'll give you the books. You as a supplier, you could even take it further. Like after they have given you their seed, okay, you can come to details and then you look at their information, okay, and ask for their name and some of the things and the textbook group class, for example, what class are you coming to get the books for? You can even ask them for the ID of the textbook group, okay, just like that. So these are things that you can do as a supplier so that you make sure that the person collecting the book is really the person that is supposed to have the academic textbooks. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. We talked about a lot of things that the supplier can do. I wish and I hope that you will read the documentation because there's a documentation about it. Okay. So in your dashboard, you click on documentation, that will open a new tab. So you come here and then you come on reservations and you can read everything about reservations here. Okay. It's not long, really. It's really not long. you can go and just hover around and see information about reservations. Okay, it's not long, it's really good, and I think you should read it. Now, something I did not mention, I mentioned it in the video or previous video about customers reservation. There, you as a supplier, you can also cancel a reservation, okay, if it was marked ready and it was not collected 3 days after. So if you have treated a pending reservation and you have marked it ready 3 days after, if the customer has not yet come to collect the textbooks, okay, you on your dashboard here, you'll be able to see a cancel link. Okay, you'll see a cancel link, which means that you can cancel the reservation. Now, as the documentation says here, you can call them and try to find out why they haven't collected the reservation, or you can assume they do not want it and just cancel it. Your call. Okay, so that's it. That's really it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to make it short. So please look at it, share it, and Allah, take care of yourselves. Peace.